academic prioritization, what was the process for making the decision, and then what was the involvement of the administration?
Oh, that's a big question. Let me start by saying, have you read the information that's on?
I have, yes.
Okay.
This is for the purpose of the students.
Okay, so for the academic program prioritization actually was a process that really started about 3 years ago, and it involved a number of different phases. Does that matter? That my email keeps going off. I'm sorry. Do you want me to start again?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay.
Again.
So let me turn this off just so, because I get email all the time and it can be very loud and distracting, and it kind of makes me think what's going on here. Okay. So the academic program prioritization is part of really a 3-year process, or over 3-year process, where we've been looking all across the university. As you know, we did middle states assessment and assessed our learning outcomes for academic programs last year. And then we had a consultant come in and help us kind of look at how we might make the university more efficient. And that they suggested that we go through a review of all of our academic programs. And the process was really, we started the independent review of the programs in the summer, and the faculty and the administration were involved in a number of different ways. We actually had a multi-level review stage. So first, the departments looked at their programs and said, is there anything that we think we need to retire? And the things that we were looking for were things that programs and courses that had low enrollment, that maybe needed to be modernized, those types of things. We looked at market, the demand for the students coming in, and then also the demand for graduates in that field, so students are able to get a job when they finished. And so the first level of review was at the departmental level, where they looked at programs and decided, okay, this one's been on the books for a long time, we really don't have any majors in there, we're going to retire that. Then we went through a very detailed process where we combined data that was compiled from the business office, our registrar's office, information on markets that our Terra Firma, our consultants, had provided us, along with qualitative data about the programs, the faculty, those types of things that the departments themselves compiled for each major. So that was completed, and then we moved into a scoring process. And we completed a very detailed rubric so that everybody was using the same criteria to score. We had used the same data sets, so all majors were being looked at the same time with the same types of data. And through the scoring, each major was reviewed by 5 different individuals: 2 department chairs, 2 members of the academic affairs staff, and then I reviewed all the majors as provost. And so there was a score that was put together and tabulated, and we used the cumulative score, and each major received a score 1 to 4 on the rubric. Then that information went to the senior staff, and we worked over a series of, actually probably 3 weeks, moving through each major, evaluating the scores. The senior staff asked questions. We looked at each one of those. The senior staff came up with several, I'll say recommendations, but really it was kind of an if-then type of scenario for the majors. And then that was presented to the Board of Trustees at their February 21st meeting, and the Board of Trustees made the final decisions as to which majors we decided to sunset, which majors we're going to pause, and then suggestions for modifications for those other majors as well. So you can see it was a very involved process that involved a lot, both faculty at multiple times, both the academic affairs staff, and then senior staff, and ultimately the trustees.
And what immediate changes can students expect?
Well, immediate changes right now for students, our current students, I think the only immediate change you will see is right now, if you haven't declared a minor in one of the programs that was sunsetted, you're not going to be able to do that. For the existing students that are here, even if they're in a minor that's being phased out, we are required as a university to provide a teach out so that each student will be able to complete the degree plan that they came in with and that they're currently enrolled in now. So if your catalog, let's say you're a music major and your catalog was, you're a sophomore and your catalog was last year, those major requirements are major requirements that aren't going to change. We will deliver those to you so that you can complete your degree.
And how will this impact current students in the future?
Well, so current students are part of the teach out plan. So it's not going to change. There may be a difference in who and how the instruction is given, but the instruction is going to be the same. This is really designed to for students that will be coming in the fall. We call it matriculating, when you do the thing at convocation. Those students will not be able to enroll in those majors that have been sunsetted.
Understood. And then my final question is, what is your message to any affected students?
My message to affected students is that I know this is hard. Frankly, it was a grueling process for all of us. It is not something that we wanted to do, but it's something that we had to do in order to remain competitive. I hope that they will take comfort in the fact that we're committed to a teach out. We care about quality education and we're committed to providing that. But I also recognize that it stings, and quite honestly, it stings for me too. So I'm sorry it had to be this way.
That's all I had. If there's any other thoughts you wanted to add, you're more than welcome to, but
No,
with that, I'll
I think
conclude.
I'm good.